Hello everyone, welcome to another class of the scrolling widget. Today we'll be looking at the Listview widget. This widget is one of the most important widget types that can be used anywhere. Most of the time, when building real-time applications, the content of your screen will change based on user actions with a change in the network data. All this dynamic behavior is achieved by changing the contents that are being displayed in the body of this. Example of this are like Facebook, Twitter posts when you get to scroll through different and you see this body change dynamically. Flutter provides Listview class with a constructor Listviewbuilder, which can be used to generate dynamic content from external sources. We'll be looking at the types of Listview widgets we have. In the Listview class, there are 4 types of Listview widgets as listed below. These Listview types are different constructors inside of the Listview class. The Listview is the default constructor, that is the number 1. When using this, we only need to pass a list of containing all children to display. The Listview is just like the column widget, but this adds functionality, scrolling functionality to our widget. Number 2 is the Listview Builder. This builds a repeating list of items. When you have a list of items to display, it's better to use this. Also, Listview Separated. Here we generate the list, but we can specify a separator between each item. You see all this in example when we go to our code base. The Listview.custom, it's a third constructor to create a Listview. It requires to provide an implementation of a silver child delegate. We'll be looking at all these constructors of the Listview class in the various examples we'll treat when we go to our code base. So now we shall see examples of a Listview widget. Our number 1 example today is the Listview. This, like I said, this is a default constructor of the Listview class. As you see, it takes children of widgets. It can be any type of widget, just like how the columns work. So let's go to our code base to see how this works. Okay, we already have our app set up with a Listview example as the app bar. So we just need to add a body to this. Then we need to make use of our Listview widget. So as you can see, this is our Listview widget. We'll add the children and make it a widget, give it a type of widget. So we'll be looking at lists of widgets. Let's just take for an example, maybe list of widgets. So let's give our text, our different text. So let's say our first text should be an app bar. So we can just have different types of list of widgets. Second text should be scaffold. These are list of widgets. We just want to list different types of widgets. So let's say, okay, we still have a text widget in Flutter, different types of widgets in Flutter. So we can say container, and okay, let's use this safe area widgets. Okay, so let's run this and see. Okay, we have a different list of widgets here. Let's get to see, since it's containing the list view, when you scroll, you see, okay, there's no scrolling here. So let me just make this, let me add a style to it to make it really text style, and I'll give a font size of maybe 30 to this. So I'll copy all this style and paste to all this. So it's 2. Okay, so it still did not overflow, so sorry for that. Let me just make it 80. Let's see what 80 can do to this. Okay, so you see now we have a scrolling functionality because of this, and this look so we see that we have a scrolling functionality for this, and it's list our widget just like I want to show an example that will make it have an error, so I'm just changing the okay. Let's make our text that is 190 and this 85. Okay, seems we'll just make it 90. Let's make it 88. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this can go to 120. Maybe this can go to 130. So as you can see, we can screw, and like I said, this is just like our column widget. So if I change this to a column and you see I'm having this error once more, a render overflowed by 22 pixels. But with our list view, we can just add scrolling functionality to our list of widgets, which will help us. As you can see, so beautiful, and it's scrolling. We don't need to use a single child to wrap our column. We can just use the list view to achieve this scrolling functionality. So we'll be looking at our second example. Our second example will be a Listview Builder. A Listview Builder is the number one constructor. This is the default, the Listview. The Listview Builder is the number one constructor in the Listview class. So we'll be looking at the Listview Builder as our second example. For this, we'll be using different lists, so I can move all this out of this, clear away the body, or make a widget that build a list view example, and it returns this. Okay, so where am I getting error from? Okay, I added an S here. Okay, so we have this. So we'll be looking at our widgets that build the list view builder example. This returns a list view dot builder. Okay, we have our item builder as a function of widget, so we can say text context, then index. So, and this returns, let's just say for now, let's use a container. Okay, so if you compare this to our example here, it's having an item count, so, and it returns a list of item. So for this item, let's look at sorry for that. Okay. For this item, let's look at list of countries to help us with that list of countries. So I'll check for list of countries in a word array. So let me look for, okay, I think this was, okay, this is country list, so we can just copy from here, so we don't need to copy all. This should do. Let me stop at Brazil, so I can go back to here. So I'll be making a list of countries, so it should be a final list of countries. So this should be a list of countries. So this is a list of countries, a final country list. So what will happen here is that our item count will now be country list. That is this country list dot items country list dot length. So when building this, we'll paste all inside of a list. Let's use a list style widget that have a title, text widget. So the text widget should just take the list of countries. So we'll apply this by saying country list, then we give it an index. So this country list and this index just pick the position of each item in this list. Like Afghanistan is one index, starts with 0, 1, so it picks each of it, and this builder helps us to build this according to this. So it goes around, it fills this with text, it's add the country list in it. So this is our example. You can copy this and apply it to our scaffold by giving it a body of that particular example. So let's hot reload and see if everything is working perfectly well. Okay, so here is our list view example, and as you can see, it lists out the countries we have in our list. It built it for us. We don't need to put different list of widgets by ourselves manually. As the example states, it's a builder. It helps to build what we have in our list. So our next example would be the Listview.separated. As the class states, this adds a separator builder to it. So we'll make use of our Listview.builder constructor, but we'll be changing it to separated, and we'll be adding this separator builder. So let's quickly go there and do it. So we'll just copy this, we'll make use of this our class, then we'll change this to separator, or let's say separated class. So we'll be changing this to our separated, and it will require us to have a separator builder as well as item builder. So we'll be adding the separator, we separator builder, which takes, we can look at the example here, takes a normal functional widget, which this index, so it returns. So let's say we want a line to divide through this. So there's a widget known as divider. Flutter provides us with a widget known as divider. So our separator builder is this. So we'll change this example with this example to C. So this was the former example. This is the one we are having currently. So let's see what the separated example can do for us. Wow, this is beautiful. So as you can see, the separator builder helps us to add a line dividing this, and it's looking so good, So this is how we can use the Listview.separated, and this is how we can use the Listview.builder with their properties in it as item count, which counts the whole item in the list and put the value here. So we'll be looking at our last example, which is the Listview.custom. This takes a children delegate as a silver child builder delegate, which helps us to build just like the builder. So our advice, if you come to a custom, it's mostly used, it's not mostly used, sorry, like I just come across it once or twice when building a chat app that requires some specific design on the builder. So but let's look at how the example goes. So this we'll just have to copy. Let me make use of my builder, Listviewbuilder. So this would be Listviewbuilder.custom example. So look at the custom. The custom requires a children delegates as the silver. Okay. And look at its silver child builder delegate. So this take a normal build function, normal widget function that don't the properties of this, they don't have this in this specific constructor. So we have to use the child counts and a normal builder. So we make use of our normal builder class, take a build context and index. So let's say it return this list type here, and also it's having a child count of remove this, and okay. Coming. So we'll be adding a child count, and we'll be making use of our country list. Country list dot the length. So this is for the Listview.custom. So let's refresh. Okay, we'll have to change the body to this. So as you can see, this is our Listview.custom. The Silver build child builder delegates creates a delegate that supplies children for Silver, and the Silver is used to build. As we go deep into various examples, we'll be making use of the Silver, and we'll be making use of different widgets. You get to see that works well. For now, you should just know that these are the various examples we have using the Listview and its various constructors, and it helps to build. For me personally, I like the separated example, so I'll leave it at the separated for the beautiful design. I'll leave it at the separated design for it. And wow, there is it. So as you can see, these the various examples we have for the Listview, and if you have this slide, you can study it more, and you can go and check the different types of constructors we have about this and its various properties. Thank you once more. This is the end of the class for Listview. We'll be looking at grid view on our next class. Thank you and bye bye.